Hi everyone, my name is Daryl Kwao. Now, from Monday, all exporters and importers who rely on GCnet for their port transactions will be engaged on a single electronic platform. This is a pilot program to test the systems for the implementation of the national paperless operation, which is scheduled to begin on the 1st of September this year. Program officer at GCnet, Carl Saki, revealed this to Joy Business when the Parliamentary Select Committee on Trade, Industry and Tourism paid a courtesy call on the company in Accra. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has announced plans so far advanced for the implementation of the paperless port operation at the Tema port. This would mean clearing of goods at the country's ports will be done within 4 hours, beginning 1st of September, as government faces out procedures that cause undue delays, double inspections, processing of papers and other activities that impede the smooth running of the port should be a thing of the past when the paperless operation kicks in. The operator of the automation system, GCnet, confirms come August 7, the new system begins as it gets piloted at the port.
The thing about the paperless is that a lot of the agencies involved, customs is used to paperless, importers or declarants, they submit papers electronically already through the system. There are a few issues where we have to look at how to remove some of the papers in the system. So let's say you're going to the terminal operators, they don't accept, they are no longer going to ask you to bring a paper copy of the delivery order. They are going to depend on the electronic system to be able to go through that. And so those issues have already been ironed out, and that's why we are confident the pilot is starting on the 7th. Now, let me also say here that yesterday the Vice President also came with there's a new directive from the Vice President because they also want to be involved in whatever is coming on. They also have their timelines, but it's not going to stop what we are doing because, you know, we are developers, we provide solutions, and so what we're doing is to marry the plans from the Office of the Vice President into ours, and then we'll continue the process.
Chairman of the Select Committee on Trade, Industry and Tourism, Marfo Nana Ameniampong, expressed satisfaction with the work done so far by GCnet on the new system.
GCnet is going to play a crucial role as far as this paperless concept is concerned as our ports. I think we are impressed, except that there are a lot more. We are going to Aviance, Sport and those. As far as they are concerned, I think we are very comfortable with what they've been able to put in place so far.
Some of the port operators, exporters and importers, also do complain that even though GCnet is doing well, there are other agencies too who are operating at the port, and it's like they are duplicating roles. What is going to happen to some of these agencies?
Actually, that is more or less the Ghanaian nature, which normally tends to sabotage a lot of these initiatives. That is why we, as the Select Committee from Parliament, we are here with them today. I think we have close to 28 days more to take off. So all those issues, hopefully by 1st September, would have met most of those agencies to see what they can also do. Because if we want to wait for everybody to take off, we'll never get off.
GCnet is expected to invest about $6 million in infrastructural upgrade as well as other related programs for the year. Now, government has paid about 54 million cedis in tax refunds to businesses. This was under the new tax exemption policy as of June this year. There's more in the following report. The tax exemption policy introduced by government is aimed at checking abuses and revenue losses. The policy requires that businesses make down payments of all tax obligations and subsequently apply for a refund. According to government, value of exemptions increased from 800 million cedis to 2.4 billion cedis in a very short period. Speaking at a breakfast meeting for CEOs organized by the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Director of the Finance Sector Division of the Ministry of Finance, Samson Akligo, described the situation as worrying. He reiterated the tax exemption policy is important in resetting the economy for successful business operations.
Yes, there are challenges, and which the ministry is aware of. But I think the response mechanism through the new policy regime has also been swift. As of June, the money that has been paid out as refunds is about 54 million. So this money quite frankly, doesn't come to the ministry, it's escrowed, and then it's paid back to the businesses. And I think that the real challenge for us is to see how we would work together to make it better.
Despite the strides made so far with the policy, business owners still have concerns about swift payment of refunds. However, Chief Executive of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Yofi Grant, says government is keen on addressing these concerns, hence the engagement with business owners.
The whole idea that people feel that it's unfair, for you to tell an investor that come in, you have exemptions, and then when they've come in and they've started their businesses, then you start holding back those exemptions. It's not fair to any business person, whether it's a foreign business or an indigenous business. So for us, it's important to have a dispassionate discussion about it. We want to know what they really think and explain to them. And I was pretty satisfied with the explanations given by the Ministry of Finance as to why they had to do this. Because, like you said, I think if my numbers stand to be corrected, but I think last year the budgeted amount of exemptions was about 800 million cedis. But at the end of the day, they realized that exemptions had built up to 2.4 billion cedis. That means there must have been abuses, significant abuses of the system. And they've discovered that truly, yes, there were serious abuses of the system. So this is the first step to try and check those abuses. Government is hopeful the new tax exemption policy will help it meet its revenue target for 2017. Well, in other business news tonight, Minister of Business Development Mohamed Awal has reiterated government's commitment to ensuring a favorable economic and business environment. According to him, the introduction of many policy measures by government within the last 6 months is an indication of fulfilling this promise. Here's another report.
Minister for Business Development Mohamed Awal argues the introduction of the various business-friendly policies by the government is an indication of its quest to improve the business environment for small and medium enterprises, SMEs. He made the remark in an interview with Joy Business at the sidelines of a special forum on media and business development in Ghana, organized by the Media Foundation for West Africa, MFWA. Mr. Awal urged the media to support the effort to market Ghana as the gateway to Africa.
Taxes have been abolished. Some have been cut. Energy is being stabilized. Inflation is reducing. It's now about 12.7% from about 15% in December. These are all policy initiatives by government to improve their business space and the macroeconomic stability. Government will continue to improve the macroeconomic stability for businesses to flourish. But I'm saying that media must help brand Ghana as a very stable country that is a business attraction, a business location, so that businesses can grow. Governments want the private sector to champion growth. We never continue to create a space private sector to grow. So we want to improve the macroeconomic environment and make sure that GDP last year was 3.2. This year we intend to bring GDP to over 6%. That's what I want to do. So the media must support to develop businesses and make the present vision of making Ghana business-friendly economy in Africa a reality.
On his part, Executive Director of the Media Foundation for West Africa, Suleiman Brahima, impressed on the media to use the favorable business environment to brand the country.
As a country, we are privileged to have an environment that is quite buoyant to be able to support the media businesses. If you go to countries like Sierra Leone, Liberia, the Gambia, the economies are so small, but yet you have so many media outlets that are also operating. So people would say, well, perhaps unlike Nigeria, but we still have an economy that is so strong to be able to support the media industry.
The event was also used to launch the Made in West Africa Media Excellence Conference and Awards coming up in October this year.
We are moving on now to the banking space because Cal Bank has launched its new identity as a commercial bank, the first since 2004. The new brand is expected to hold true to the bank's core values and is set to redefine banking using technology as its main base. Kuku Apia reports.
Cal Bank has launched its new brand image, and aside from the fact that they have a new tagline and a new logo, some of the things they're looking at also include financial inclusion, better financial technology, and environmental protection. But what does this mean for their customers and Ghanaians as a whole?
We looked at our customers. Again, we are very customer-centric, and in the periods of of dooms or irregular power supply, a lot of our customers got into trouble. I mean, the cost of powering their business was beyond what they could afford. So now when we're doing our new building, we also realized that the cost of powering our new building was going to be very, very expensive, exorbitant. So we looked at other sources, alternatives, and trust me, that building is primarily dependent on solar. We work with a lot of DFIs, development finance institutions. We have changed our business model. We are known predominantly as a corporate bank, but we have right now 25% of our portfolio is retail. So we are gradually moving into that space. One of the reasons for the rebranding, and so the rebranding is basically telling customers as well that SME customers, retail customers, you should come and do business at Cal Bank.
Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama, also stressed on the importance of strengthening risk management measures in the banking sector.
The sector operates in a very competitive environment, and currently most banks are leveraging on technology to develop innovative financial products and services. On risk management, while the central bank welcomes this positive trend in terms of the banking industry's reliance on technology for service delivery, banks need to consider the potential operational and systemic risk factors associated with such emerging trends. In this regard, banks must strengthen their risk management systems to monitor exposures and establish robust technological and information control and security measures. This will ensure confidentiality and integrity of financial transactions in order to limit operational risks and build confidence in such electronic banking services.
The new brand image is to strategically grow revenue, advance retail and digital banking. Cal Bank's tagline now, "Forward Together," is to show commitment to clients and carry their finances forward to greater feats.
Now, the influx of mobile money services has been identified as critical to growing the banking sector, though some industry players are worried about mobile banking initiative is affecting the patronage of traditional banking sector. Others believe otherwise. Head of retail banking at Standard Chartered Bank, Henry Bayer, is one of those who believes the banking sector must develop products to enhance the impact of mobile money services.
The way we make payments, which is switch money from one person to another to pay for goods, is changed. Gone are the days where everywhere you go, you have to carry cash to make a payment. Technology is evolving very fast, and there are so many things that all of us, we used to do by walking to a place or by taking a vehicle to a place that today we can literally do from our phone, everything. The world has changed, and so has payments. So payments have changed. And for us as banking, we see everything that is happening in the payment space as part of one big ecosystem. One of them cannot exist without the other. All mobile payments that happen get switched through banks. You understand what I'm saying? And today, banks' mobile platforms are being linked up to people's wallets, so you can move money from your wallet to bank and bank to wallet and switch payments around. So it's a whole ecosystem of payment platforms that all work together to make the world much more cashless than you and I came to meet it. The way the world is moving, if you don't change your business, you die. There are many things that will come, whether you welcome them or not, you like them or not, they will come and compete for your business. So what we need to think about is think about the whole world and the whole changing system as one system that is operating together to make the world better. If you don't think about it like that and think about how the various systems and platforms can collaborate, then you can be sitting in a corner thinking that, oh, something is competing with my business. For as long as you're sitting there moaning and groaning about something competing with your business, it's eating up your cake every day. And I think this is news for everybody who is doing business, that we've got to change. If you don't change, your business will shut down.
Now, away from banking and finance, despite the enormous potential of Ghana's hospitality and tourism industry, it is still troubled with several persistent challenges. These include the high cost of utilities, which leads to increased rates of hotels. Sarah Josu explores Ghana's rates as compared to that of similar pedigree around the world and proceeds to seek the views of some managers in the industry.
According to the 2014 World Travel and Tourism Council report, Ghana's travel and tourism sector directly contributed to 3% of GDP, equivalent to 2.62 billion Ghana cedis. This primarily reflects economic activity generated by industries such as hotels, travel agents, airlines, and other passenger transportation services, as well as activities of restaurants and leisure industries. However, the fortunes of this important industry seem to be dwindling due to the expensive cost of hotel services in Ghana. Some statistics indicate a night stay in a standard room in a high-class hotel is 1,028 Ghana cedis, whereas a standard room for the same class hotel in Dubai will cost an equivalent of 228 Ghana cedis. In Accra, some charges could go as high as 1,648 Ghana cedis per night, while the same offer cost an equivalent of 678 Ghana cedis in Beijing and 1,360 Ghana cedis in Kinshasa. The trend is currently impacting on the operations of hotels. Roman Krabel is the general manager of the Accra City Hotel, and he identifies the high cost of power as the main cause of the problem.
This is about the operation, how you operate a hotel in Ghana. It's very difficult. We can start with electricity bills, and to be honest, it's not only my place, all of my colleagues. I believe the first 2 weeks in every month we are working just for electricity. Of course, solar is a very good future to do, but it's not for free. Everybody has to pay for the solar installation, and it's not cheap. Everybody should work together hand in hand to bring certain costs, operational costs, high costs, down in favor to the operator. If the costs go down, the operators are able also to charge less the guest.
The 2017 second quarter business barometer report revealed that the reduction in the energy sector levy did not affect tariff levels significantly. The high cost of electricity also accounted for 61% of the major challenges facing businesses in the report compiled by the AGI. General Manager of Oak Plaza Hotel, John Madison, in an interview disclosed that if government reviews the tariff structure for industries and hotel facilities, they are likely to drop the prices on their charges.
The cost for electricity in Ghana is quite exorbitant. I think if that's the biggest issue, it's not the supply of it or the availability of it, but I think the cost of actually the electricity to the public as well as industry makes it challenging. We need to look at other sources of energy that is more economical and that makes it more viable. So, I mean, it also creates a lot of strategic thinking and also a lot of creativity on behalf of business operators, industry as such. So, you know, the reality is Rome was not built in one day. And, you know, you need electricity, and sometimes, you know, in a young country, in terms of Ghana, in terms of the industrial sector, you know, you're going to have growing pains like this. But I think the focus should be on how to make it more affordable, how to make it more accessible. So I think, you know, as long as government look at these things on a long-term basis and a strategic basis and see how we can make it more affordable and accessible.
Power generators say the issue has been forwarded to the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission for redress. Reporting for Joy Business, Sarah Josu.
All right, you're watching Business Live. We are moving on to the subject of the controversial toll levy. It's being discussed all around. Right now, as we speak, stakeholders forum is underway on the toll levy. We want to take you now to the Fiesta Royal Hotel, where the chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Transport, Sam Aipe, is addressing the forum.
Tracks, towing tracks, enough that can cover, if not all, most parts of the country, have been explained by the National Road Safety. And then in the contract, the service provider is supposed to engage 15 subcontractors, third-party contractors, and zone the country and improve their capacity, including changing or replacing their towing trucks, the old Land Rover trucks that we have crane in its buckets that we use for towing. At a point in time, or at times you even go and meet them, the towing truck itself had been disabled and parked on the street with the vehicle that had been towed on it. So in the contract is there that it should help them on a high purchase basis to get them very good towing trucks that they can use. The committee, upon hearing Zakosi day and night and other private towing services, in an attempt not to collapse their businesses, in our recommendations, we asked that the third-party contractors should be increased from 15 to 30. That is another recommendation that we gave. Then come another issue raised by the Consumer Protection Agency. It also ought to do with the same monopoly and efficiency. When there's no competition, as they say, there is not going to have value for money, and the private operator may relax, and Ghanaians are not going to have value for money. As part of our recommendations, we said, National Road Safety Commission, through the Ministry of Transport, should submit to the committee biannual report every 6 months. We want to have reports from the National Road Safety Commission on the project and how effective the private operator is working. And that will give the committee the opportunity to properly monitor the activities of the service provider. So these are some of the recommendations that we asked the Minister of Transport to sit down with the service provider and see if they can do that, and as a result, implement the projects and allow the project to go.
All right, so you heard Chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Transport, Sam Ayepe, addressing that stakeholder forum on the controversial towing levy. We want to take a short break. We'll be right back with our interview of the day. Welcome back. Now, Ghana Home Loans has disclosed its mainstream banking operation is set to begin in the last quarter of this year. The company, which has long been known to be the nation's leading mortgage financier, had earlier hinted of moving into commercial banking by mid-2017. In an interview with Joy Business, the chief executive of the company, Dominic Edu, says plans are far advanced in achieving this feat before close of the year.
Interview of the day.
In the last quarter of this year, we are going to be a bank.
Okay. And what steps are already in place to achieve this?
We've actually acquired the license already. We've got a full banking license. We've finished with all the requirements of Bank of Ghana, and all we're doing is just refining our products to enable us to get to the market before the end of this year.
Okay. So what exactly would you be doing this time differently from what Ghana Home Loans already does?
I think, as I mentioned in my presentation, we would like to be the foremost bank for wealth creation, using the mortgage as the anchor. So what we're trying to do is to enable people save to buy the mortgage, borrow to have a useful lifestyle, a very wealth creation philosophy, where if you need your pensions, we will administer them for them. If you need insurance, we'll provide you insurance policies. If you need remittances, so retail banking effectively. Yeah.
Interview of the day.
All right, so that's our program tonight. Remember, you can read more about our top story tonight. GCNet to begin pilot of paperless process at Tamaport on Monday. You can read more about it. Plus, watch the videos if you missed out on our program. My name is Daryl Kyle. I'll see you tomorrow.